March 19, 1927, 63 acres on the corner of Conway and Spady roads was bought by Reverend Mother Reed. The 62 acres came along with sheep, one mule, collie, and the original log cabin that still remains intact today. In 1928, 3 religious stayed in a cabin while the school was being built. In order to build our beautiful school, 180 trees had to be cut down. The girls who went to school here were held to high standards. Reverend Mother Reed said those who live in the house named after Mother Duchenne should hold poverty and prayer in high esteem and practice much charity and humility. Later on, in 1955, construction was underway in the making of a long-dreamed chapel. The chapel was completed in the fall of 1957 due to the generous donations of the Villa community.
Villa has always had an honorable reputation in St. Louis and among Sacred Heart schools. In 1930, an article written in the St. Louis Globe-Democrat Sunday magazine states, "There is a grove of old trees from the dim center of which rise the towers of a great chateau. Sketchy glimpses from the road might cause the casual motorist to believe for a moment that he is winding about the countryside of France and has come upon the massive home of some entitled family, except that the pile is clean with newness, and occasionally there can be heard the murmur of many carefree children at play." When the school was 29 days old, October 29, 1929, the stock market crash and the Great Depression followed. Still, the school journal, carefully recorded by the Mistress General, shows soon enough that the school exhibited high academic standards and achievements in a development of appreciation of traditions.
By the mid-40s, Villa was a first-rate school in St. Louis and among the Sacred Heart schools in the country. During World War II, the girls were active in Red Cross, relief drives, and raising money for the Sacred Heart schools in Europe. Mass was first held in a log cabin, to a small room on the first main corridor, then to an area above the auditorium. In 1961, the activities building, complete with the gymnasium and pool, was finished and named after Thelma Kennefic for her 34 years of service as an athletic director. In 1970, City House and Barra Hall closed, bringing 226 new students to Villa, which brought about the construction of the pods, now used as the lower grades buildings. In that same year, the boarding school was closed, but boarders stayed until they graduated in June of 1973. In 1988, the Duchenne building was built. Here at Villa, we are lucky to attend a beautiful school with such rich tradition.
Villa Duchenne is a school rich in tradition. The community comes together several times a year to honor those traditions. Cache-cache is a French term that has been handed down from generation to generation and refers to a group form of hide-and-seek, traditionally played at Sacred Heart schools. On the last day before Christmas break, each school provides a basket of food for those in need. Those hundreds of food baskets are presented at the Christmas Basket Mass. Participation in the tradition is both an honor and a serious responsibility. Congé is a surprise day for students to set aside schoolwork and play on campus. It is an opportunity for students, faculty, and staff to celebrate our school community. Sacred Heart students look forward to goûter or snacks on special feast days and the first Friday of every month. Prize Day brings a formal end to the school year. Students are recognized for their academic achievements and character formation. Now here's Lindsay to fill us in on some senior traditions.
As Bridget said, Villa Duchenne seniors have traditions of their own. Graduation used to take place in the back bowl. However, today, graduation takes place in front of the school on Sunday. The tradition is held that all girls wear white long dresses. They get their diploma from the head of school, and there is a nominated teacher as well as the valedictorian and salutatorian of the class who make speeches on the graduating class's behalf. Although graduation in Maypole used to be held on the same day, today Maypole takes place on the following Monday. According to Sister Gaio, Maypole has been a tradition at Villa Duchenne since the school started in 1929. Maypole, however, is not a Sacred Heart tradition, but rather a social tradition among private girls' schools in St. Louis, like Mary Institute and Visitation Academy. Although optional for Villa students, the entire class of 2014 will be participating this year.
Hello, this is Claire Milner for Tower News Network. Come with me as I take you on a tour of some of the hidden and secret spots of our beloved villa, including a ceiling view of the altar in the chapel, one of the old telephone receivers that used to line the hallways, the notorious foil room, the original blueprints, and even an old cash register in the attic. So here's a view of the back bowl from the foil room. The foil room used to be the ductwork for the entire, and the unit of the entire air conditioning system for the chapel. Here is a piece of the unit for the air conditioner. You can find people's names etched in over time because you can just push on it and it acts like foil. These are the original fixtures of the bathrooms for the original bathrooms of when people used to board here. This is the sewing room that is still used today to make priest vestments. Here are a few that they have made recently. Then these windows over here are the windows that you see between the two towers at the top. This over here is the top of the west tower. It is above the head of school and principal's offices. When Mr. Welch first came to the school in 1985, this entire room was full from floor to ceiling with old luggage, but today we use it to house all of the costumes. Now this is where you could throw your trash and it would go all the way down to the basement, while this one you could do with your linens. We're now at the top of the spiral staircase that a lot of people use every single day. The spiral staircase is located in the east tower of the two towers.
Buddy, you've been here for over 25 years. What would you say has changed the most since you've been here?
People.
Teachers.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few come and go, bosses and stuff like that.
What would you say your favorite villa tradition is?
Auction.
The auction?
It's always different. It's never the same way as
How many
always.
hours go into that, the planning of that?
Well, just as far as maintenance wise, we start about Monday of that week and it's throughout the whole week.
Saturday. Oh, wow. So do you have any plans of retirement?
In a year and a half.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, we're lucky to have you. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
How long have you been at Villa?
I have been at Villa for 36 years.
Wow, is there anyone that's been here longer than you?
Miss Aarons came with the same year I did, so I think we are your senior faculty.
And so, what is your favorite Villa tradition?
I like graduation. I think graduation is beautiful, it's impressive, it's meaningful, and I think it's all right they did away with the curtsy.
Yeah, I agree. And what is your fondest memory of your time at Villa?
You know, I always like the fact that Sister Ian Kerr said, nobody comes to Villa by accident. We're all here because we're supposed to be here. And so I like to look at my students and new faculty and staff and administration and think about their stories for how they came to be here.
Good, I'm glad.
Thank you.
Ladies, here are some of your upcoming events in our Villa community. March 12th, we have the Shakespeare Festival coming to Villa. March 13th is the award ceremony for winter sports. March 17th through 21st, get ready because it's our spring break. March 29th is our father-daughter dance. April 1st is the junior ring ceremony. April 4th is our junior and senior prom. April 24th is the senior art show. May 1st is the annual May crowning. And May 2nd is our field day. I'm Lily Bell, and this is Tower News Network.